Happy Friday, boys and girls and days. How's everybody doing out there today? Welcome, everybody, to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown, the safe space where we set oppression ablaze. And we know that once we set that oppression ablaze, we're going to burn it down and we're going to rebuild. Ain't no build back better shit. we got to start the fuck over. We got to start from ground zero and come on up, y'all, because we are in a bit of a quagmiric situation. I don't know if quagmiric is actually a word, but I just made it up. But anyway, a quagmiric situation when it comes to all these multiple levels and system of oppression. So, we just here to commiserate together, guys. I'm so happy to see all the flame emojis in the chat. Y'all are the shit. What's up, Toby? What's up, Latif? Which one of y'all just said y'all just smashed a Turkey Club sandwich? And I was not hungry until I read that shit. I was like, damn, Turkey Club. That sounds rather legit right now. What's going on, everybody? Freddie French, Courtney the SLP, Pimp C is in the building. We got all the people in here. Natalie's in the building. Kev V 24/7 is in the building. I'm so happy to see you guys. Hey, Chuck Diesel, what's going on with your Night Rider? Guys, thank you all so much for showing up. As you all do every Tuesday and Friday. I know we took Tuesday off, but like I just told everybody over on Patreon, man, I was feeling that new moon in Virgo. And I know y'all like, Kim, I know you're one of them astrological Badu bitches. Yes, I am absolutely one of those mystical incense burning Badu bitches watching the fucking stars and the astrology and shit. So yes, I was totally feeling the new moon at Virgo. So we needed to take an extra day, pause for the cause, recharge our chi and shit, align our chakras and whatever the fuck. So yeah, so here we are Friday. I'm so glad to see you guys in the building with us today. Now, on the agenda, we've got some things to discuss. Firstly and foremostly, I hope y'all who are parents are having a safe transition to the school year with schools reopening. It's grand opening and grand closing. A lot of places around the country, guys, when it comes to the brand new school year. So I'm just sending y'all some love and some damn light because as a child-free person, I'm like, I'm sure parenthood is cool most times, but dealing with all this insanity surrounding the COVID virus, and are they doing good mitigation procedures in the schools? Do you live in a state where your governor is a roving tyrant who is opposed to trying to save children and other people's lives? So yeah, I'm just sending y'all some good vibrations today. We're not going to talk about COVID today, goddammit, because motherfucking COVID is wearing me out, okay? I'm tired of COVID. I'm extremely tired of COVID. But anyway, I just wanted to just big up to the parents. I know it's not easy out here for you guys dealing with this shit. You and your kids dealing with this shit. So man, you helping, who's helping they, Anna, yes, helping out your nephew's schooling this year. Good. Help them, help the children as much as possible. And please tell your local school board that virtual learning needs to be on the table because the way the COVID Delta variant and the brand new joint, what's the new joint called? The Mu variant. Ain't no telling what Halloween gonna be looking like. Ain't no telling what Thanksgiving gonna be looking like. Ain't no telling what the holidays are gonna be looking like. Nothing is certain. Everything is up in the air. So anyway, just love to the parents and to your kids and the people who have children in their life who they are helping, like Anna Hart is doing her thing. But anyway, guys, so like I said, on the agenda today, some things to discuss. Now, why did I even go off on a tangent about kids? Oh, because the Nabisco strike is still very much happening. And people, as a community, we obviously are not going to cross that strike line. So we are going to adhere to hashtag boycott Nabisco. That means all Nabisco products, because they got over 1,000 workers still on the strike line, y'all. And they've been out there for damn near a month. I think a month today, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to get into how the strike is progressing. Spoiler alert, Mondelez has said that their production has already been affected by this strike. Their sales have been affected by this strike. And I would imagine the subsequent boycott that is going along with that. So whatever the workers and those who stand with the workers like you and I are doing, it's working. So we got to keep that up. But that's later in the show. We're also going to talk about the Buffalo mayoral race, which is way more interesting than you would normally maybe suppose a mayoral race in Buffalo, New York would be. Of course, the Democratic Socialist India Walton won the Democratic primary back in June. The current mayor, Byron Brown, is like going out like a whole sucker. There has been court decisions surrounding who's going to be on the ballot for this November's election. And there was a debate this week. And let me tell y'all, they was coming for India Walton at this debate. Every single one of them. Byron Brown, the current mayor, came for India Walton a bunch of times. Oh Lord, they got a Uncle Ruckus type nigga as the Republican nominee. He got a cool name though. His name is Jazz Miles, but he is a sucker. I'm like, oh Jesus. And then they have this like independent, politically unaffiliated white guy that's running. So the debate was kind of interesting. I watched it and I'm like, oh, this is way more interesting than I thought it would be. And I've got some highlights I would like to share with you all. But trust and believe, India Walton held her ground. like she made each and every single one of those men look dumb at least one time during the debate. A couple of them got made to look dumb several times. It was entertainment. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna share it with y'all when we come up. But I want to begin the program with an update. And if you watch Black Power Media and if you watch the Remix Morning Show, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 a.m. over on Black Power Media on Thursday show. Yeah. Kamau Franklin, who is one of the hosts over on Remix Morning Show and other shows over there on Black Power Media. And, you know, Kamau was here with us last week. He's the founder of the Community Movement Builders. We gave y'all the update on the status of the cop city in Atlanta, and surprise, surprise, the majority black city council said, yeah, fuck it, yeah, y'all can have that 85 acres, yeah, 90 million, even though the 90 million is not 100% coming out of the city of Atlanta's budget. But again, that kind of makes it even more creepy because it's coming from this private Atlanta Police Foundation, which it does not sound proper at all. Like I am so piqued. My curiosity, that is, has been piqued by this Atlanta Police Foundation and the Atlanta for Progress Committee or something. I'm like, yo, like all this shit is shady and shadowy and, you know, private money and rich white people and coon ass niggas. And it's too crazy. But the cop city passed the city council. Now, like Kamau told us, they have intentions, of course, being the local organizers there in Atlanta, to try to take additional steps to prevent this construction of this so-called public safety academy. But just bringing us up to speed a little bit, I wanted to take a look at this local package from Fox 5 Atlanta. Now, I'm always, for one, I'm always skeptical of all local news. Usually always report things from the perspective of the powerful, right? They are going to present the politicians favorably, present the police favorably, present the demands of the police as being rational things, and usually save the comments from the activists and the organizers for last, or even if at all. So anyway, I want us just to get caught up on the status of this. So let's take a look at this package from Fox 5 Atlanta about the Cop City vote.
Yeah, Russ and Courtney, critics of this project, they've spoken out about this. They've protested for weeks now, hoping that it would not come to this point. And Mayor Bottom says she understands that people are frustrated, but she says it was ultimately the right decision for this project to move forward.
10 yeas, 4 nays.
In a 10-4 vote, the Atlanta City Council votes in favor of leasing 350 acres of land in DeKalb County to the Atlanta Police Foundation. The move means plans to build this new public safety training campus for the city of Atlanta can now move forward.
And I know that everybody is not going to be pleased. There are many people who are unhappy about it.
On Thursday, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom stood alongside Atlanta's police and fire chiefs who all voiced their support for the project. Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant says the current training facilities for police and fire personnel are barely usable and an upgrade is necessary.
For years, and I mean years, decades, have trained in substandard conditions. This will allow us to move forward, not just for the policing of today.
The $90 million project will be built on this piece of land in DeKalb County. The site will take up 85 acres of that property, leaving 265 acres left for green space. Some people opposed to the project wanted to see all of that land preserved.
We looked at several properties. I even put up several properties for consideration, but they were just not the appropriate fit.
At a protest last month, dozens of critics said the money should be spent on resources for the community instead of policing.
We don't believe that better trained police officers is what the solution is to any of this. We in fact believe that if that funding does exist, it should go into community supports and actually meeting the needs of community.
Now, Mayor Bottoms also criticized those who say that less money should go to policing. She says that this training facility will be as much of a benefit for the community as it will for those law enforcement officers who will use it.
Fox 5 Atlanta there, y'all. Keisha Lance Bottoms, Atlanta mayor, says that I know a lot of people, many people are unhappy about it. Yes, like the majority of your constituents. Guys, now, clearly, we know that these politicians are not there to represent necessarily the will of the people. They are there to represent the interest of the wealthy, the powerful, the connected, etc. Right? But if there is ever a point in time, y'all, where I think people on the ground can get organized, like it is possible to have the majority of the Atlanta City Council primary, right? Like at some point, that like the chicanery has to come to a cease. and listen, I understand that people like Keisha Lance Bottoms, people like the former mayor of Atlanta, Kasim Reed, like these guys are handpicked, right? They are there to execute the agenda of wealthy white supremacists, basically, whatever their political affiliation. They are there to serve at the pleasure of the power brokers, right? And to get some crumbs for themselves in return for selling the rest of us out. But I don't think that you can so much replace that kind of person, meaning that whoever's going to be the next mayor of Atlanta is probably going to be very much in the Keisha Lance Bottoms, Kasim Reed, Andrew Young mold, right? But the city council, however, that can be a completely different story. Like you can get in all them motherfuckers' ass. And by the way, Tunde, if you could pop up that photo for me, please, y'all. I want us to take a look real quick at some of the who these council members are. And before I get into, the sellouts, because there's several sellouts, let me shout out the 4 who actually voted against this. Jennifer Ide or IDE or Ide. Jenny I, let's just call her Jenny I. Thank you, Jenny I, for your vote against. Antonio Brown, Carla Smith, is that right? Yes. And Natalie Archie Bong. Yes, Natalie Archie Bong. One of the city council members actually was absent from the vote because they're on paternity leave. So we'll give that person a pass. But the other 10 city council members, a pox on all your houses, okay? And one of them is actually, Molly, can you do some Googles for me real quick? Google Michael Julian Bond. He's an Atlanta City Council member, and dare I say he must be a relative of Julian Bond, the famed civil rights leader, activist. Julian Bond, big shoes out there. Julian Bond was about it. Michael Julian Bond, however, is all about the police and reinforcing the police state in the city of Atlanta, as is Andrea Boone, as is Matt Westmoreland, as is Howard Shook. These Bama's got some interesting name, as is Marcy Overstreet, who I believe is actually one of the proposed candidates for mayor or someone who is considering running for mayor of Atlanta in the coming months. So anyway, take a good look at all them suckers except the 4 that I named who voted opposed. That would be Ade, Brown, Smiths, and Archie Bong. Yes. So yeah, I don't know all the political wranglings and maneuverings that went on behind this vote, right? Like some of them people might have just been able to vote no because they knew it wouldn't actually be any political consequence for them to actually vote against it because it was going to pass regardless. So I'm disappointed. I'm sure people in Atlanta are disappointed because the green space that is going to be raised is an urban forest in a place that is ever developing, right? So there are fewer and fewer green spaces in the city of Atlanta because of overdevelopment and, of course, gentrification helping to fuel that. But I think as Kamal mentioned when we spoke with him, or maybe he said this on the Remix Morning Show, that he don't even think they did an environmental study. And all the reporting I've seen around this proposed Cop City Academy, it makes no mention of an environmental impact study whatsoever, which, of course, is very on brand for capitalists, Democrat or Republican. They don't give a fuck about people, let alone the planet or the wildlife that could be displaced should these hundreds of acres be raised in favor of this Cop City. So, guys, Andre Dickens is running for mayor. Vespa. Oh, Dickens, wait, he voted for it too. Shocker. He wants to be mayor. So, of course, he voted for the police academy. Hey, I would say you got to run a good, strong progressive in Atlanta, but we know that they would probably get crushed with all that corporate money that is just gushing all throughout the city. So I think that really ATLians stand the best chance of trying to move that city council needle in a different direction, even though, of course, all these people are all bought and paid for. But something can be done, y'all. I'm trying to think who actually has a good progressive city council. And I'm drawing a blank because it is no place near where I live, right? The city council in Washington, D.C. Well, let me not say that, actually. City council in Washington, D.C. has done some progressive things over the past 10 years, but the makeup, the demographics of the D.C. city council have changed considerably as D.C. has continued to change. So I don't know how progressive they currently are. I mean, we legalize, I say we, I live in Maryland, but DMV, damn it. We legalize weed, though not for recreational sale. Again, coming up short, Democrats, as usual. We got legalized, I think, in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, in Washington, D.C. And that was a big fucking deal, right? Because the federal government was 100% against D.C. doing anything. The federal government is against D.C. doing anything autonomously anyway, but that is a whole nother topic. But back to Atlanta, guys. I'm going to be watching how organizers respond to this, because I think it would be somewhat wise to take a page from our indigenous brothers and sisters and Two-Spirit folks who have been protesting these pipelines. The Dakota Access Pipeline, Biden canceled it. That was a victory, and it was a hard-fought victory, right? People have been putting their bodies on the line in South Dakota for literally years, not only fighting against the corporation that was constructing the pipeline, but against the law enforcement there that was in total cahoots in terrorizing water protectors and land protectors and people who were out there to stop the pipeline. So maybe not too dissimilar to what our indigenous family is doing up in northern Minnesota with Resist Line 3 and Stop Line 3. It would be dope to see some ATLians like chaining themselves to like bulldozers and shit. You know what I mean? Like we may have to go full on back to like semi-guerrilla tactics out here. So I'm very concerned, but I still at the same time think that this thing actually can be stopped, despite the support that it has from the mayor, the city council, and the corporate forces that basically run the city of Atlanta, Georgia. So we will be keeping an eye on that. Guys, what we got up in here? Hey, okay. I'm not too mad at the attendance versus the likes. That's not a terrible ratio, so I'm not going to scream at y'all about that. But if you are new here to Burning Down with Kim Brown and you have not yet subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I would certainly appreciate that. And you can follow us places around the internet, BIDWKB on Facebook, on Instagram, Burn It Down with KB on Twitter. And of course, we are always down for your support, your material support, or free support. Like I said, free, y'all know how I feel. Free is fine. Free works for me. I appreciate free. Y'all spending time with me is free. Thank you. I'm grateful. Y'all are the shit. Keep it up. But if you got some bucks, we'll take your bucks too. Cash App, $, BIDWKB, Venmo at BIDWKB, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. And of course, we always welcome new patrons at patreon.com/BIDWKB. All right. Y'all, I want to move on to the next topic because, shit. Y'all, they are coming for India Walton in Buffalo. And they are coming in the way that scary ass niggas try to come. But, yes, okay, I'm just gonna move past that. They are coming with fear mongering, with red scare tactics, socialism. like it is a trip, y'all. And honestly, this mayoral race in Buffalo really looks to be one of the biggest campaigns of the year in terms of attention, in terms of consequence, and potentially in terms of money spent. Now, Nina Turner's race in Ohio for Ohio's 11th congressional district, money was pouring into Ohio. And I think we're going to see the same thing happen in Buffalo, really in the coming weeks, because shit, we already at the beginning of September. Election is like 2 months away. This shit's getting serious now. And as you all know, India Walton was a Democratic socialist who defeated the incumbent mayor, Byron Brown, who had been mayor, I think, 16 years, like a ridiculous amount of time. Like, what the fuck, Buffalo? Where are y'all term limits? Yeah, Cuomo didn't have no goddamn term limits either. New York, what's popping? Y'all just letting these people just sit in office for forever. That has got to stop, man. No. Anyway, so Byron Brown lost the Democratic primary. Byron Brown is now mounting a write-in campaign under, what did he call his party? Something goofy, like the Buffalo Freedom Party. Like, really? The Buffalo Freedom Party, nigga? Okay. Whatever you say. But there's been a lot of legal wranglings in terms of whether or not Byron Brown is actually going to be allowed on the ballot, because the Erie County Board of Elections, as of like this week, right now, it's only India Walton's name on the ballot, right? So they're about to start sending out ballots for absentee voters. I think the first batch of ballots to be sent out by the Erie County Board of Elections goes out to military folks first. But all of this is still being challenged in court, whether or not Byron Brown will actually be allowed to be added. And there was a judgment, a ruling recently that said that he will be allowed to be added to the ballot. But the Erie County Board of Elections intends to challenge that, which is good, like, because this is some crazy shit. But you guys, hold on, Tunde, if you could pop up for me the article, could Buffalo's mayoral race be a $10 million campaign? Guys, money is pouring into Buffalo because you know why? The establishment Democrats, of course, but even this, again, this is where establishment Democrats and conservatives, you know, they dap each other up and all of a sudden turn into Soul Brothers #1, right? Like, in terms of they will squad up and make allegiances in order to stop someone precisely like India Walton, who was a Democratic socialist. And according to this piece, I mean, they estimate that maybe $10 million could flow into this race. That is a lot of money for a mayoral race, especially a mayoral race of a relatively small city. Buffalo, I think, is the second largest city in New York, and like a distant second, right? Like super way smaller than NYC. But yeah, they're already looking right now at, there has been north of $5 million already spent between the two campaigns combined, at least according to this one political consultant quoted in this article. But y'all, the ads have been crazy. Labor Day has been crazy in terms of political ad buying in the Buffalo market. So there's a lot at stake here. And this week was a debate. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it was the first debate, because y'all, I don't live in fucking Buffalo, but I mean, I'm pretty sure this was the first debate, and it was entertaining to say the least. Where did my dog just go? I'm sorry. Smokey agrees. It was entertaining. And no, I did not get a new dog. Smokey is my friend's dog. So I still have Bagheera, and Smokey is here hanging out. So I want us to take a look Tunde at the first clip of this mayoral debate. Now, again, guys, it's India Walton It's incumbent Mayor Byron Brown. It is the Republican nominee who was a black guy. His name is Jazz Miles. Cool ass name, corny ass nigga. And a white guy. I'm just gonna call him a white guy because I didn't write down this nigga's name, and he ain't gonna win. So it's crazy. It's 3 black people up there and a white guy. It's India, the only black woman on the stage, versus these 2 black men and this white man. And again, the dynamics are really interesting. So this first clip, we're going to take a look at a couple of clips. Again, and this debate was, I think, sponsored by like the Buffalo Association of Black Journalists. There was a lot of black journalists in the room, a couple of radio stations. I think the TV station was also part of this. Hold on, let me get my credits correct. Y'all know how I feel about crediting people. WGRZ TV. What's up, upstate New York? How y'all doing out there today? So the questions were being posed by journalists in the audience. They were taking some questions online via Twitter. And so anyway, so this question that we're about to see right now, or rather a response. Well, this does include the question. They're about to ask India Walton about her pledge to defund the police. As we know, India Walton is running like a whole DSA campaign out here. So of course she's in favor of defunding the police. I can understand her measuring her words and phrasing, given the fact that, she's trying to win. She's trying to win an election, but she does not stray far from her values surrounding the reallocation of funding for police into the community. So let's take a look at this first Q&A between India Walton and Byron Brown. Y'all, Byron Brown was acting like the pettiest little hoe throughout this whole debate. It was ridiculous, but you'll see. But anyway, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the first clip today. Thank you.
Ms. Walton, we hear defund the police, reallocate the police budget. This is all police reform, but how do you do it? What stays, what goes, and will there be enough money for police training based on how you want to reallocate funding for police?
Thank you for your question. The fact of the matter is I haven't campaigned on defund the police. There's one person up here that's been defunding our community that's caused crime to run rampant over the last 5 years. We've been defunding community centers. Our pools were closed this summer. We've been defunding senior and youth services. My plan is to free police to do police work, which is solving crime, investigating crime, and keeping our community safe.
But how specifically do you plan to do that? How do you plan to spread out the money? How do you plan to reallocate the budget to meet your objectives?
The first thing we do is we stop police from being dog catchers, homelessness outreach, mental health counselors, and we put professionals into those roles that is their job to do. We cut police overtime. We can end the militarization. We don't need tanks on the streets when people peacefully protest. There are lots of ways. And under a Walton administration, we're going to have a transparent budget process so that we'll be able to tackle those issues head on.
Oh, nice. Okay. So that was that. That was India's response regarding to being asked about defunding the police. And guys, when I tell you it was a lot of red scare tactics at play here regarding the attacks that India Walton sustained. Now, mainly they were going at her. Like every single man on that stage had something slick to say about her, right? The Republican nominee, the Jazz Miles guy, had some shit to say about Byron Brown, but really, it was all jump on India time. And India was ready for them. So she was so ready for it. And it's going to become very apparent in this next question, this next clip I'm about to show you guys, where the candidates were asked about development and how they would deal with developers coming to the city to try, I guess Buffalo's east side is a little rundown. So a lot of abandoned homes, dilapidated homes. And the Republican nominee, Jazz Miles, is going to begin the response in this next clip that we're about to see. So he's going to be talking about developers coming into the city tearing down some of the blighted homes. And he gonna have something real slick to say about India being a socialist, and India got something real slick to say to him. Got something real slick to say to him back. So let's take a look at that, Tunde, if we could, please.
But India Walton is completely wrong when she says she hasn't campaigned on defunding police. She said that she would cut $7.5 million.
This is Byron Brown's response. We're going to get to the developer's response in a second. So that was my bad. I set that up bad. Anyway, so Byron Brown wanted to rebut India Walton's assertion or her campaign pledge to cut, I think, $7.5 million from the Buffalo Police Department by cutting overtime and other ways of saving money. So this was current mayor, 16-year incumbent Byron Brown, who is running as a write-in candidate because he got his ass whipped in the Democratic primary back in June by India Walton. So he had all the smoke for India Walton. Let's check that out, Tunde. Sorry about that.
But India Walton is completely wrong when she says she hasn't campaigned on defunding police. She said that she would cut $7.5 million from the police department budget, which is clearly defunding police. And that would result in 100 less police officers on the streets of this community. Also, the three most dangerous calls that police officers respond to, highly trained police officers, are domestic violence, are mental health calls, and traffic stops. Ms. Walton proposes to not have police engaged in any of those areas, putting citizens at risk to try to do those dangerous jobs.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. We don't have instant replay, so I was flexible on your answer to that. This was a personal attack on India Walton. We will just say that you have, Ms. Walton, you have 30 seconds to rebut what the mayor just said, but there is no counter rebuttal. You have 30 seconds.
The $7.5 million my opponent is referencing comes from a very good study that was put out by the Partnership for the Public Good, that after a great audit of the police budget suggests that positions can be eliminated through attrition and the budget can be decreased by decreasing overtime and properly staffing the police department. That's not defunding, that's a responsible use of taxpayer dollars.
Responsible use of taxpayer dollars. Honey, Democrats don't know what that is. Nor do Republicans, by the way. And you know, we all here, correct? Like if I say something about fuck the Democrats, that also goes for fuck the Republicans too, right? Because neither one of them niggas is shit. And we all know this. So anyway, Byron Brown continued to say on the attack of India Walton, and the Republican candidate, Jazz Miles, cool day, Cordy Dagan. Jazz Miles wanted to jump in and try to throw some elbows to India. But India, again, y'all, she black woman out here, poor black woman out here, hustling black woman out here. You think she wasn't ready for these simple ass men? Come on now. Let me explain something to y'all. Now listen, now I know we have a very good crew of wonderful, enlightened men that support this program are with us today. Hello, fellas and days. I love you guys so much, but y'all know your arms are too short to box with a black woman that has been out here struggling and suffering, okay? because she has had to deal literally with every type of sucker on earth, black sucker, white sucker, non-black or white sucker, right? So India was not shook by these fools at all. And when asked about the question, let me set this back up again because I fucked it up the first time. When they were asking about the issue of redevelopment and developing blighted areas in Buffalo, specifically East Buffalo, where India is from, the Republican Uncle Ruckus, the Republican nominee, Uncle Ruckus had some real slick shit to say about India being a socialist. And like I said, India had some real slick shit to say to him right the fuck back. So tune in, let's take a look at that, please.
Mr. Miles.
So part of the development problem in Buffalo, New York is the houses, the dilapidated ones that need to be torn down, the exorbitant cost that they claim that it takes to tear down the house. And then we have homes that were just built on Jefferson and Sycamore just within the last 20 years or so. And are they being torn down? or something like that? What is going on with the property in Buffalo, New York, where developers get to come in, buy property on the cheap, especially after the pandemic that they want to blame everything on? Developers are going to buy this property on the cheap. It's not going to give the average Buffalo citizen a chance to own a home for them to be able to take care of themselves. Now, owning a home is something else that also does not happen under socialism. So if you're voting for the socialist ticket, you don't get to own a home. They do not like property owners. They do not like free speech, just so we can clear this up straight off the point. But we need to tear down these dilapidated homes, and it will take care of some of the crime that happens in our city. It will give a better look to our city, and we need to know who these developers are and that they're here for the city.
Thank you, Mr. Miles. Ms. Walton, would you like to answer that question?
I certainly would. My last job was as founding executive director of an organization where we built permanently affordable housing in the Fruit Belt neighborhood that was higher quality than any affordable housing we've seen in the last decade. I'm very proud of that. I'm not anti-development. I am anti-development with displacement. We can do smart development that keeps neighborhoods intact, that creates mixed income neighborhoods with high quality amenities, and we can do it without draining taxpayers. If a developer wants to develop something using a tax subsidy or our tax dollars, I believe that there should be a legally binding community benefits agreement, and there should be ongoing support for the surrounding neighborhoods. If that is what you call socialism, then sign me up. And I don't think there's too many people in this room would disagree. Let's stop mischaracterizing who I am and what I believe. Ask more questions and read more books.
What Ms. Walton just said about the Fruit Belt Land Trust and her several years of managing that organization is just absolutely false. Public records show that the Fruit Belt Land Trust did not build a single house. So I'd like her to explain how she was such a successful executive director of the Fruit Belt Land Trust that built not one single house. So what she just said was completely false.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Ms. Walton, you have 30 seconds.
I would love to respond. It's amazing that in your own city, you don't know what's going on. We definitely built 2 houses. The addresses are 162 and 166 Rose. We did it in partnership with Habitat for Humanity because we secured an $800,000 grant from Enterprise Community Foundation, and the city refused to let us pursue a bigger project. So we had to settle for 2 houses, and we had to partner with Habitat for Humanity on the demand of the city of Buffalo, which you forced us to pay market rate for city-owned land to build affordable housing that serves the public good. So let's talk about that.
Thank you, Ms. Walton.
Let's talk about who I am. Blondie, find me in the hood where my people love y'all, hate the rest of y'all that I can see through y'all. And let me tell y'all, you would honestly be doing yourself a tiny bit of a favor if you had some time, an extra hour and a half out of your busy schedule to really go back and look at this debate, because it was entertaining, it was enlightening, it was a lot of things. I mean, in addition to obviously India Walton just serving food, couldn't even fuck with her. She was out that bitch looking like Neo from the Matrix, like sucker, 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 slapping all the suckers, slapping all the suckers. Aside from India, just Neo and all of that shit, like just to see how those men were just flailing, like just truly struggling in order to keep up with what India was setting down out there. Guys, again, fuck that. This is a partisan place, not partisan per se, but we pick favorites out here. And I please, if you are in Buffalo, support India Walton. Do what you can to make sure that Byron Brown does not get yet another term as mayor, that the establishment Democrats don't keep doing the same old shit while Buffalo suffers. There are a lot of talk during this debate about how Buffalo has experienced increasing poverty, increasing violence. I'm actually loath to kind of call it crime, because the fuck is crime? Crime is some shit that rich people determine, right? Powerful people determine what is crime. And chances are there's crime being committed right now that is not even being taken stock of. So crime is sort of like an arbitrary sort of concept in the first place. But anyway, Buffalo is experiencing, well, Black Buffalo anyway, experiencing the effects of decades of disinvestment, right? And they are, when I say they, the political establishment, both the moderate or establishment Democrats and the conservative establishment are afraid. They are super afraid of India Walton winning. And I think the latest poll that I saw that I was able to find was from a month ago. It was from August 12th. And the polling had Byron Brown leading India Walton by 10 points. So this is going to be a ground game effort. This is going to be a GOTV all the way, all hands on deck. India has a real chance to win this thing. And if she don't win it, really, it's going to be because them motherfuckers cheated. Byron Brown should not even technically be on the ballot, right? And it's going to be super interesting to see how these, like, there are court cases currently pending at the state and the federal level surrounding this particular election. So between now, September 10th, and election day, first week of November, a lot can happen. A lot can happen, and a lot of chicanery can happen, and a lot of technical foolery meant to exclude or defeat India Walton is absolutely on the table. So in any way that you're able to help India Walton, I would encourage you to please do so. So yes. Anyway, guys, we're going to move along because we had a hard out at 6 o'clock. and we are running a tiny bit short on time. Hey, thank you guys. I love y'all so much. What's up, Schultze? Oh, what's up, Patricia? I saw Noli D in the house. Noli D came over to visit from the Police Accountability Report. I feel extremely special, Noli D, because I know how much Taya loves you, and I love Taya. so I love Taya. Taya loves you. So by default, I probably love you too, Noli D. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. What's up, Patricia? Thank you, darling. Love y'all. You see Pimp C. Like, Courtney, come on, Courtney, Pimp C. Let's talk about fake ass pictures. You spit that Eve, girl. Y'all go back and revisit that first Eve album. Eve was killing niggas on that first joint. Yes, sir. Produced by Swiss Beats, Rough Riders. Anyway, moving along. So I hope you all remembered that the good people and workers of Nabisco are on strike. And when you were out at the grocery store buying after school snacks for your children, you ain't buy them no goddamn Oreos. Now, I know your kids was like, Mama, I don't like Hydrox. Mama, put the Hydrox back. And I want the real Oreos. And you said, no, child, no. This is why. This is how you show solidarity with striking workers. This is how you show solidarity with unions. We do what we can with our purses and our wallets as consumers to put our voices and our dollars, or subtract our voices and our dollars, away from products that are harming workers, and especially union workers. Well, all workers, fuck that, all workers. But anyway, the Nabisco workers are still on strike, guys. They are striking like a motherfucker. 1,000 of them on the picket lines right now. Okay. The strike started a month ago, August 10th in Portland. It spread to Aurora, Colorado. It spread to Norcross, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. Excuse me. It's also spread to Richmond, Virginia, and Chicago. Chicago workers were Nabisco workers, the bakers, confectioners, tobacco workers, grain makers union, the BCTGM. The most awkward assemblance of consonants for a union. But hey, they're getting a lot of support. DSA chapters, local chapters, and all of the cities that I just named have been standing alongside of the workers as they are outside of the Nabisco plants, the Mondelez plants, as it were. Tunde, can you pop up that? Hold on. I got so many goddamn tabs open. The clip, it is from DSA Portland. It's from DSA Portland, Democratic Socialist of America. And this, okay, I want to read it so I can set it up, because it is of a particular person. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, guys, the person we're about to see speaking, their name is Donna. Donna is a member of the Bakers Confectionery, Tobacco Workers, Grain Makers Union out there in Portland. And Donna is described in this tweet as being among the rank and file members. And Donna is going to explain that the hashtag Nabisco strike isn't about money. It's about domination and control over workers, but they won't break us, guys. She speaks briefly, but her words are extremely powerful and strong. So let's take a listen to what Donna had to say.
Here, Mondelez is hurting. Mondelez is hurting. They're spending so much money because they have the money, but they're spending so much money. And I just had a talk with someone earlier. She said it so well. They're trying to show us our place. It's not about money. It's about where we belong in society. We have a place. Right. But we don't. Yeah. They can bring in all the flour, they can bring in all the sugar, they can bring in all the oil, they can bring it through helicopter. But if nobody's buying their product, if we stick together, guess what? We won. That's right. We got this, you guys. Stay strong. I got up today to be here because I needed my brothers and sisters to see that they will not break me. They will not break me. That's right. I'm here, and I'll be here tomorrow, and I'll be here every day until we win.
Be there every day until we win. And trust me, the workers will indeed win, and they are already winning in a way, y'all. Pop up C1 if you could for me, Tunde. This is a Bloomberg piece that came out this week. Headline, Mondelez, which is the parent company of Nabisco, is making fewer cookies, crackers amid the strike, according to the CEO. The CEO said that we are having a tiny bit of a problem stocking shelves because we don't have enough workers. Let me read you some excerpts from this here article. The company's fulfillment rates have worsened recently, according to market analysis from Decal Data, which tracks retailer transactions with shoppers and manufacturers. The rate of undelivered orders climbed to 7.1%, up from 5.3% prior to the strike. This is according to the data showing, with the vast majority of those caused by Mondelez's canceling of shipments. Okay, now Mondelez's CEO is a nigga named Van de Put. I don't know what his first name is. Van de Put says that the company remains committed to the U.S. manufacturing. As we know, that one of the workers' complaints is that they're shipping jobs down to Mexico. The CEO, Van de Put, said that the remains committed to U.S. manufacturing and would like to invest more in its plants, but, quote, we need to remain competitive, end quote, to do that. So that means that they need to keep fucking over their workers for their labor and their wages and their pensions and their potential overtime and their health care in order to, quote, remain competitive. Well, which is also interesting to me about this Bloomberg piece, which, again, this is why I hate mainstream media. And I apologize to y'all actually for even citing this Bloomberg bullshit, because fuck Bloomberg, fuck Michael Bloomberg. But of course, in this Bloomberg piece, they don't talk anything about what the workers' demands are. They don't even mention what the workers' demands are. They just say that the workers are on strike. It's fucking up production. It's causing deliveries to go down. And that's it. Make no mention about CEO compensation. Make no mention about, again, what some of the demands of the workers are. So please, even though I know so many of these recent labor stoppages, these work stoppages, these strikes have gone largely uncovered by the mainstream media, it is really our responsibility. And I say us, not just mine, but us, because you here with me. So that makes you aware of the shit, right? You got to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, y'all. We got to spread this word very organically, very much at a grassroots level, because it is not the mainstream media's interests to cover the struggle of the labor movement, to cover the struggle of workers. The mainstream media serves a billionaire class, and they just want you to think that, you know, everyone has aspirations to be rich, but are actually poor. And they just assume everybody is happy to be poor. I don't know what the fuck they assume, but we have to make sure that we can do anything that we can do from even our very limited corners of the world, even if it's something as simple as boycotting Nabisco products, which, by the way, I have a list. I have a list. Now, I don't know, did I put that up there? I did not. I have to read y'all this list. My bad. I thought I had stuck it on the on the document, and I had not. But you all, I see a couple people in the chat always was agreeing with the Hydrox versus Oreos comparison. Listen, Oreos, clearly a superior cookie to the Hydrox. I understand that. And if your children complain about getting the Hydrox cookies, your children have a right to complain about the quality of the Hydrox versus the quality of the actual Oreos. But again, this is a teachable moment for the youths, okay? This is how we show solidarity with workers, because your mama's a worker, your dad is a worker, your parent is a worker, your grandparent is or was a worker, and it is important that these kids learn these lessons young. So, Belvita cookies, Better Cheddars, Cameo, Captain's Table, Cheese Nips, Chips Ahoy. Yes, Chips Ahoy. Chicken in a Bucket, Chocolate Waters, Club Social. Oh my, but somebody likes them crackers. Somebody does. Corn Diggers. Who the fuck is eating that? Doodads. Fig Newtons. Oh man. That's the after school special snack. Just waiting for you. Fig Newtons. Don't buy the kids no goddamn Fig Newtons. That's all. We off that. Fellini, De Oro, Saiwa, Giggles, Good Thins, Heyday Cookies. Oh, shit. Honey Maid. See, I don't eat any of this shit anyway. So, like, some of this is coming as a bit of a surprise. Lorna Doones. Ghostface, by the way, makes a reference to Lorna Doones in the Freaking You remix, him, Raekwon, and Jodeci, by the way. I'm sorry. I just know random things like that. Malamars. Who eats that? Everybody that eat Malamars has passed away, I would think. Mr. Salty Pretzels, Nabisco Classics, Nilla Wafers. Kids, no more Nilla Wafers. Orchard Crisps, Oreos, Pecans, Pirate, Potato Chipsters, Premium Plus, Premium Saltine, the Premium Saltines, Ritz Crackers, of course, the Royal Gelatin Dessert, Royal Lunch, C-Rounds, Shredded Wheat. Again, who alive is still eating shredded wheat out here? Shredded wheat probably killed them. Social tea, sports, sugar rings, and it's a long list. It's actually a longer list than I had initially assumed. But at least some of the big ones: Teddy Grahams, Triscuits, Twigs. Y'all, we got to get off that. We off that until the strike is over, until the workers are satisfied, until the workers are having their demands met by Mondelez. And most importantly, being able to keep their jobs, because part of what Mondelez has at least half-ass threatened is to continue to close jobs. I think they closed a plant in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. A Nabisco plant in New Jersey closed and jobs went out of the country. But it's so important that we stand in big solidarity with the striking workers. And the best way to do that is to don't purchase Nabisco products. #boycott Nabisco. I'm so glad that you guys get your chuckles off hanging out over here. That really makes me feel good, and I certainly appreciate that. And listen, I am so grateful that we have been able to grow Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We are almost at our year anniversary. Now, I know if you go to the About Us part of this channel, did I put this ketchup? Okay. My finger, I do a lot with my hands over here. Sidebar. I do a lot with my hands over here, and I had a ketchup packet and I squeezed it and it kind of squirted places. But fortunately, I have a Bissell. By the way, Bissell, if Bissell is interested in doing a sponsorship of Burn It Down with Kim Brown, I would accept the Bissell sponsorship because I use my Bissell products extensively because I have dogs and the Bissell should be working. Anyway, that's the sidebar. I'm not selling out the corporations. I just like Bissell shit. But I cuss too much for Bissell and I'm way too black for Bissell, so I already know. Chances are I'm not going to get that Bissell sponsorship, but that is neither here nor there. But I wanted to say thank you all for supporting this channel. Like I said, if you go to the About Us part of the channel, it says that we launched October of 2020. That is actually half true. We launched very weakly over on the place that I used to work at. But this crew, this Voltron formation of me, Tunde Mali, and now formerly Jean-Biev, we did not actually link up till December. So again, we're a few months away from our 1-year anniversary, but I am very appreciative and proud, really, of what we have been able to do in less than a year. So that is all because of y'all showing up, leaving comments, dropping flame emojis, motherfucking chat, for smoking with me. And I'm gonna smoke with y'all again one of these days. I'm gonna get it together. Sometimes I have difficulty concentrating. I have burned quite a few brain cells smoking marijuana for the past 25 years, y'all. The synapses do not fire as quickly as they once did, but that is neither here nor there. But y'all, I just want to thank you all so much for your ongoing support and for showing up and liking Burn It Down with Kim Brown, and for also showing up for our comrades out there, Black Power Media, Clickbaity, Ben Dixon and them, you know what I'm saying? Savvy Sabs, you know what I'm saying? Like, we separate, but we on the same side out here. So thank you all for supporting independent Black media on this platform and on other platforms. And of course, before I let you all go, I have to remind y'all the COVID is still out here. What? Jumping on people. Let the numbers tell it. COVID is jumping on people like it's 2020. COVID is jumping on people like it ain't never stopped. And it's bad. And it's real bad. And I feel honestly terrible for unvaccinated people who are dying from this because it's unnecessary and they don't have to. But y'all, we don't dance on people's graves. Unless it's that nigga unless it's Don Rumsfeld or who's the other one? Dick Cheney. We gonna dance like a motherfucker on Dick Cheney's grave. But my point is, okay, there are some people's graves that we will dance on, but we're not gonna dance on the graves of unvaccinated people, regardless of what their political affiliations are, y'all. COVID looks like a horrible, horrible death. And the goal is life. We want people to live. We don't want people to die. So and mainly, I don't want y'all to die. So please be safe out here. Please treat this shit as if it's last year. You know what I'm saying? Mask up, wash your hands, social distance. Don't let people get up all in your face. Don't feel like the oddball out when people are carrying themselves and conducting themselves in public as if the shit is over. i.e. hugging you, right? Because like I'm talking about a person that's outside of your bubble, someone that you don't interact with on a regular basis, or even possibly a stranger. Like, don't let people come up in here and be touching you. Don't let people get up all in your face, unmasked. I don't give a fuck. I'm vaccinated, bitch. I don't care. Breakthrough infections, okay? I'm not interested in COVID asymptomatically or any other way. I don't want the shit. So stay the fuck 6 feet, bitch. Give me some room. I'm just joking. So please, y'all, conduct yourselves as if it is September of 2020 and COVID is the rage out here. So please be safe. Please be careful. Do what you got to do. I'ma still say get vaccinated. You know, niggas be jumping in the goddamn comments talking shit like, why you be telling me to get vaccinated? COVID was started in the lab. Nigga, what the fuck ever, man. Do what the fuck you want to do. I'm just making a suggestion, a very strong suggestion. So anyway, on that note, guys, please enjoy your weekend. Have a great one. We will be back here on Tuesday on behalf of Tunde and Mali and Au revoir, Geneviève. Thank you all for supporting Burn It Down with Kim Brown. You guys are the fucking best. Love